I'm going to try this a little bit different, Mr. Smith. I want to express my personal, and I think for the rest of this board, profound disappointment in SRPEDD, you, and the way you've handled the town of Middleborough in this particular situation to this point in time. I'll tell you why. You never once approached the town of Middleborough. We happen to be members of SRPEDD. We pay dues. We pay taxpayers' money to be part of it. We were never, ever approached in reference to the details of this project. You've stated tonight you don't know what those details are. We don't know what all those details are either. You've talked about you don't have economic models, yet you've just talked about 3 of them that you claim to have, and yet you don't know enough about the economic models to know what this project can or cannot do for not only Middleborough, but the entire region. You keep coming back to negative impacts. You keep coming back to traffic. You keep coming back to economic, environmental issues. We, too, are very, very concerned about those, which is for 2 things that we've tried to do. We've created a committee within our own town to look at those impacts directly, and we've made a more than honest effort to join a regional group so that we can have some input. We've been told we're not welcome at those, and at this point in time, that's fine. I'll believe my colleague down there when he says that he believes that group will mature to at some point in time, and at that point in time will be welcomed. It appears to me that you have made numerous assumptions without any facts to back them up. And I'd like to see this whole thing move, as Adam has just so eloquently said, towards the positive impacts, not only for Middleborough, but for the entire region, because I honestly believe there are many. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be in favor of a casino in Middleborough or anywhere else. I'm asking you, please, to take SRPEDD and do what it's supposed to do on a regional basis and look at all of the impacts and ask for the input from this town. We've got a town planner who is almost exclusively assigned to this project at this point in time. I know you know her. I know you've worked well with her in the past.
Yep.
There hasn't been that degree of, there seems to be a standoffish thing here, and it bothers me. I mean, Steve Spataro talked about the impacts of some of the other projects that were around us. One that he didn't mention was a nuclear power plant in Plymouth. They didn't care at all about anybody else in Plymouth County when that thing was put in. Have there been any negative impacts from it? Yeah, I think there probably have been. Have there been any positive ones? Yes, there have. Right now, we're looking at another major project in Plymouth and another piece of it up in Weymouth that deals with movie studios. It's going to involve you. It's going to involve potential interchange off of Route 25. You talk about BEPA, you talk about environmental stuff and moving traffic and so on and so forth. I don't see that project getting anywhere near the kind of negative press that a casino is getting. And I'll get off my soapbox with that. But please, try to put a positive spin on this thing and work with us instead of working against us, because I personally feel that you have.
Well, let me just say one thing, that I've only expressed concerns, and the word skeptical has been used, and that's probably fair. But there haven't been findings. I don't claim to know. I have looked at the situation in Verona and in Mohegan Sun and so forth, and I have some sense of what the impact of comparable facilities, although I don't know what this is. So at this point, it's only been expression of concerns and not findings. Now, at some point, and SRPEDD isn't funded to do any of this, mind you, but at some point, there could be a report that says we find that the traffic impacts are serious, and these intersections need to be upgraded as a result of that. And that's a specific finding that I think we are capable and will be doing when we know more about the facility and how much traffic it's going to generate. But beyond that, all I'm suggesting is concerns we have, and it may be a appropriate criticism that I didn't come to the town of Middleborough. I did have conversations with Jack, but did not make an official approach on behalf of SRPEDD. We felt this thing was moving so fast through your town, and that for whatever reason, we didn't do that. But I think that there still is the opportunity to work together. We want to do an objective evaluation of what this means, and that means positives as well as negatives. And I think that point's been well made. I'm telling you what my experience tells me, what my research has told me, but I can't tell you about how that might apply to this proposal, because I don't know what it is.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not going to add a whole lot because